Hey YouTube, Secret Koopa here, and I have a tabletop comparison of the Kobalt and Craftsman industrial ratchets, or black oxide. And I wanted to compare these for a while now. I've had them both for a while, and one that is missing from the traditional department store brands is the Husky Pro line ratchets, and I wanted two, but that ratchet was discontinued, so it's becoming quite difficult to get a hold of. I've even looked on my through my sources right on eBay and Amazon and have trouble finding that same ratchet. I do have some specs for it I can throw at you guys to give you an idea of what we're comparing them to. I try to compare apples to apples, and these are about as close as you can get. If you're in the market for this type of ratchet, I mean, it is nice. I mean, the oxide finish, or black chrome, how some people want to call it, it is quite durable. It will hold scratches. You will see it's just like any other finish. My tools have a little bit of surface fuzzing because I use them with gloves, and that's how I wear them down. They do, however, when oily, like if you get oil on your hands, you could touch your tools, or even on your gloves, they do hold a little bit more grip than the regular chrome ones. I don't know if it's because it's a little more porous or what about this finish, but it does make it a little bit easier to hold when wet with oil. And so just gonna let you guys take a look at them for a second. So Kobalt calls this one just I think the tag just says quick release ratchet, and it doesn't really give too much detail as to what it is, any kind of specs. So I have my computer here. I'm pulling have a few more things to say about this one. First of all, this is called a natural surface grind, and you can kind of see that that steel looks like it's almost been wire brushed, right? They call it a natural surface grind finish. It looks pretty cool. About the same as the Craftsman. You'll notice on the Craftsman has that same look to it. Well, this has also the matte black finish, which is this is an oxide. They're both oxide coated, so they're both going to be the same with the type of finish. And this meets or exceeds the ANSI specifications. So that's a plus if you need to know. That is a plus. So this one has 72 teeth. You can hear it's quite fine. Kind of difficult to move. It's kind of tight still. I haven't opened these up and messed around with them. This is kind of how you would get them new in the store. One thing I don't like is how thick it is right here on the neck. Right along the neck area. It's really thick right here. Like, I think they could have done a better job with making this quite thin on the sides. I don't think that's going to help it too much, making it thick on this end of the ratchet. I've got my trusty calipers here, and I'm going to measure this out for you and compare it as usual. So, let you guys see. So you can see I'm not being biased towards this. Alright, so that's a good measurement. It slides in and off. That's kind of the thickest point on this on the neck or the throat here. Now it's coming in at just a hair under 1/2 an inch. I'm sure if you get a ratchet, it's gonna come around that same half-inch size. If this is a problem for you, I would suggest going for this Craftsman because it is thinner, and sometimes thinner is better. As you can see, it's there is a Move that out the way. It is a little bit thinner. We can see just from looking at it. How much thinner? Let's take a look. So this is about the thickest part on the throat as again. After taking the calibrated measurement, you can see right here. So the larger line is 1/2, and so it's just under that, which makes it 3/8 of an inch. Alright, so coming in at 3/8 of an inch does make it a little thinner, a little better. It is going to also be thinner on the head of the ratchet, so you can see just from looking at them, like side by side, you can tell it's going to give you a little bit better clearance. If we were to match up just like this, same thing. Let me go ahead and get the measurement on that as well. Okay. I don't want my computer to turn off on me. So this is coming out at 15/16 of an inch, which is pretty standard for all these Kobalt ratchets. You're going to find most of them, even the chrome ratchets are going to come out this thick. The Craftsman is actually very thin. Let me show you. This is actually one of the thinnest ratchets you can get on the market. It's quite thin. This one's going to make it at just over 3/4 of an inch. Almost 13/16. So those are the measurements on these. I want you guys to take a look at this now. We already talked about this Kobalt, so I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to pull up the specifications for the Craftsman here. Again, the package just says universal quick release ratchet. This is again going to have the same. No, actually, this has less teeth. This says it has a 45 tooth gear, so I could trade away. More teeth, bigger, less teeth, smaller. Okay, and it does have the quick release, which I think that's real. I think that's useful. For me, it's useful. I like to just, if I have a socket on here, let me pull one out. Just have a socket right there. You can just hit the button. Socket falls off. Kind of makes it easy to change stuff, especially if it's slippery. Like the sockets will usually get more slippery than the other tools, and then does make it easier. Let me fix this camera. It feels like it's moving. So it does make it easier, especially if your tools get oily. You just push a button, falls off, and you can change it real quick. This is held on by an E-clip, so if you need to service it, maybe put some more oil in it or something, you're gonna have to get the right tool for that, because this one is stiff. These E-clips are real stiff. It's gonna give you some problems when you're trying to clean it, oil it, whatever. This one, on the other hand, the Kobalt has some torque screws, and it's much easier to fix. If you have some small ones, I believe these are 8. These are 8s. You can replace it really easy. You don't need you don't need to mess around with a real special tool. I think the Torques come in most kits. I'd have to say that this one is better because of the handle. If I had to tell you right off the bat, better because of the handle. This one will kind of bite into you. You can kind of see it has some gnarl, like a twisted gnarl on it. Let me see if I can get the focus now. So you can kind of see it has a twisted gnarl on it. I'm trying to give you a little extra grip. But with this black coating, you don't need that much. I like a smooth handle. It's easier to hold in the. This is more comfortable, easier to hold in the hand. This one will kind of dig in. It's not that comfortable. It is longer, so technically from the drive point, from the square drive to the end, you're going to get a wee bit extra torque. These are measured out to, this one's measured out to be 1/8 of an inch longer. Well, I measured out that way. it's actually a quarter of an inch longer, but I measured it out to an eighth. So, you know, different stock, different. It'll be a little bit different per stock. So that's my take on it. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know what you want me to review next, and I'll go ahead and get to that. You know, the Husky, the one that isn't on here, it has 45 teeth like this one, and it's a pair head ratchet. You know, if you see it, you'll know. I'm gonna leave the numbers to all the tools on the table, and the tool to the Husky Pro ratchet, the one that isn't on the table, just so if you guys are interested in looking that up and maybe even getting it, maybe you like that stuff, you can make it a little easier for you so you can go find it. Anyways, like, comment, share this video, or you can keep it all to yourself and, you know, not tell anybody. Anyways, you guys have a good one. See you later.